I am Aristotle, standing now in the grand halls of the Louvre. The cool, unfamiliar air of Paris seeps into my toga. Through the clear glass, I spot the familiar scrolls and treatises, the fruit of my lifelong intellectual labor. These are my works, filled with the wisdom and insights I painstakingly gathered and penned. They lie here, in this foreign place, labeled in a language I scarcely recognize, far from the bustling streets of Athens. I press my hand against the glass, as if trying to touch the parchment that still seems to hold the warmth of my quill strokes. I was a student of Plato, and later, a tutor to Alexander the Great. In Athens, I established the Lyceum, a center of learning where I engaged in in-depth philosophical, scientific, and ethical inquiries. My works cover a vast range of subjects, from metaphysics and epistemology to biology and politics. The Lyceum became a crucible of knowledge, where I and my students debated and analyzed the fundamental questions of existence. In my time, Athens was a hub of intellectual ferment. The city-state was transitioning through various political systems, from democracy to oligarchy and back again. The concept of polis, the Greek city-state, was at the heart of social and political life. I witnessed the rise and fall of empires, the ebb and flow of power. My motivation for writing was to understand the nature of things, to find the underlying principles that govern the universe. I believed in the power of reason and empirical observation. For example, in my biological studies, I dissected animals to understand their anatomy, a method that was revolutionary for its time. In my works on politics, I analyzed different forms of government, such as monarchy, aristocracy, and democracy. I sought to find the ideal form of governance that would bring about the greatest happiness and well-being for the citizens. I believe that a balanced constitution, a mixture of different political elements, was the most stable and just form of government. This concept of a mixed constitution was a significant contribution to political theory. Now I stand here in the Louvre, looking at my works that have traveled across time and space. The bright lights in the museum illuminate the pages, but they seem to lack the warmth and context of the ancient world. Tourists pass by, some pausing to glance at my writings, but few truly understand the depth of the ideas contained within. My works, which were once the cornerstone of Greek intellectual life, now seem like relics in a foreign land. The separation from their original context is painful. The knowledge and wisdom I imparted were meant to be part of an ongoing dialogue within the Greek intellectual community. Here, in this museum, they are like stars in a foreign sky, beautiful but detached from their constellations. The modern world may study my ideas, but it often fails to grasp the full significance of the cultural and historical milieu in which they were born. As the museum closes for the day, the lights dim, and a sense of finality descends. My works are once again left in the quiet darkness, waiting for another day of curious glances. I stand here, a silent observer of the fate of my intellectual legacy. My spirit is heavy with the realization that my works, which were so deeply rooted in the soil of ancient Greece, now find themselves adrift in a sea of modernity. Slowly, I turn and leave the Louvre, knowing that my ideas, though they may endure, are forever separated from the world that gave them birth. The pursuit of knowledge, the love of wisdom that I championed, continues, but the connection to the original wellspring of thought is lost.